So what you got tattooed on your face? Tell me about it a little bit.
No, I got Sack Chaser right here. That's my brother. That's my twin.
Okay.
And I got Juvie.
Juvie?
That's my brother.
Just a lot of your friends who passed?
Yeah. Nah, them my niggas right there.
Oh, okay.
My brothers right there.
My bad. I wouldn't get none of my friends tattooed on my face until they died.
Yeah,
I'm not a good friend like you are, apparently.
This shit for life.
A clip of YNW Melly praying and blowing a kiss during his murder trial has gone viral.
He was doing it a couple times. That wasn't his first time.
The victim's mother says it was disrespectful.
What you praying for? Because you sitting over there like you don't got no remorse. Like every time I walk in, you smiling. You know, this ain't the time for that. This case is sad.
Melly, whose real name is Jamel Demon, is accused of killing 2 friends in 2018 and covering it up as a drive-by shooting.
One that cares about you takes initiative, always. You don't have to tell them anything. They know what you like. They know what you want. They know what you expect. They're going to take initiative. Man or female. Point blank period. If someone cares about you, they're going to go out their way for you.
Loyalty is supposed to mean everything, especially when you come up with nothing. But inside the YNW circle, loyalty slowly turned into pressure. Pressure turned into resentment, and resentment turned into silence. 2 young lives were lost, careers were shattered, and years later, the truth still feels just out of reach. Because when fame, money, and fear collide, not everyone makes it out alive. And what makes this story even darker is that the people closest to the center didn't all meet the same fate. Some died, some walked away, and some are still waiting on a courtroom to decide their future. It all starts with the man most fans never talk about. Anthony Williams, better known as YNW Sack Chaser, wasn't just another rapper in the crew. He was the backbone. Born in 90 Days 7, he was the oldest of the core members and one of the original founders of the YNW movement. While others focused on music and image, Sack Chaser handled business. Promotion, structure, direction. He saw YNW as a brand before it ever became a headline. Every collective has that one person keeping things moving behind the scenes. That was him. But according to prosecutors, that same control slowly became a problem. Court documents painted a picture of a man who didn't like feeling replaceable, especially as Melly's star began to rise. Allegations surfaced that Sack Chaser demanded cuts of Melly's earnings and used aggressive language to enforce it. One text message from August 2018 raised eyebrows immediately. That doesn't sound like friendly tension, that sounds like a warning. And then came the fight. According to testimony, just 2 days before the fatal incident, Sack Chaser and Melly allegedly got into a physical altercation that ended with Sack Chaser's gold tooth getting knocked out. Melly's girlfriend was reportedly there. Imagine that moment. 2 people who built something together, now throwing punches days before one of them ends up gone forever. On October 26, 2018, Sack Chaser and YNW Juvie were rushed to a hospital in Miramar, Florida, after being driven there by YNW Bortland. Both had been hit multiple times. Sack Chaser was shot 8 times, including 4 to the head. The story given was simple, too simple. A drive-by. Melly posted tributes the next day, saying jealousy took his brothers from him. But forensic evidence would later destroy that narrative completely. Ballistics experts concluded the shots came from inside the vehicle, not outside. No shattered glass consistent with a drive-by, no angle supporting an external shooter. The original story collapsed under science, and once that happened, everything changed, because sitting in that same vehicle was the youngest of them all. Known to fans as YNW Juvie, was only 9 years old. Born in November 1998, he grew up in the same tight Florida environment that shaped the entire YNW movement. Opportunities were limited. Music wasn't just a passion, it was survival. Juvie wasn't a side character, he was a co-founder. You could hear hunger in his voice, the belief that they were really going to make it out. What makes his death even harder to process is how it allegedly happened. Prosecutors believe Juvie may have been asleep in the back seat when he was hit. Forensic experts testified that the bullet trajectory suggested a downward angle, consistent with someone resting or slouched. One shot entered and exited through the top of his skull. No warning, no chance. His father became one of the loudest voices demanding justice, filing a wrongful death lawsuit and claiming greed played a role. He alleged tensions over a proposed multi-million-dollar branding deal where Juvie stood to earn real money for the first time. He also pointed out something that stuck with the public. Melly was invited to the funerals. He never showed up. Today, Juvie's music continues to rack up millions of streams, but lines like, "Wipe your tears, we gonna make it," hit differently now. He never got the chance to see any of it. 19 years old, barely started living. And while 2 lives ended, 1 man drove away. Cortland Henry, better known as YNW Melly, was the driver that night. Born in 1999, he grew up alongside the rest of the crew and carved out his own lane in music. He wasn't the star, but he was trusted, present, loyal. After the shooting, Bortland drove around for nearly 45 minutes before seeking help, according to prosecutors. They allege this gave Melly time to fire shots into the vehicle from outside to make it look like a drive-by. For years, Bortland stood firm. No deals, no statements. He even rapped about never folding. Those bars didn't age well. Just 1 day before his trial was set to begin, Bortland accepted a plea deal. 10 years with time served plus probation. Online reactions exploded. Some called it survival. Others called it snitching. His lawyer denied cooperation, insisting Bortland wouldn't testify against Melly. But part of the deal included a proffer. That means telling prosecutors the truth. As of late 2025, Bortland remains incarcerated, with a projected release in the early 2030s. A man who once swore loyalty now sits as one of the most controversial figures tied to the case. Not everyone stayed long enough to face that choice. Jalen Green, known as Jay Green, was there from the beginning. A co-founder, a rapper with real momentum, and most importantly, Juvie's cousin. Blood, not just business. Jay Green saw things shifting early. Pride, ego, internal fractures. Around 2018, he quietly distanced himself from the group. No public beef, no messy exit, just space. That decision likely saved his life. His music continued independently, pulling millions of streams and showing real artistic growth. His name surfaced during trial prep, mentioned in texts alongside major artists, but prosecutors made it clear there were no accusations, no involvement. Today, Jay Green runs his own label and speaks openly about being the last surviving member of the original YNW collective. Imagine carrying that. Losing your cousin, watching your friends turn into headlines, and still having to move forward. But the fallout didn't stop there. It reached the youngest of them all. YNW Slime, Melly's little brother, was only 11 years old when everything happened. Born in 2007, he grew up watching his brother rise and then disappear behind bars. While still a kid, he went viral with freestyles and built his own fan base. His tribute song supporting Melly became one of his most emotional releases. But here's the twist. Prosecutors later listed those same songs as potential evidence, arguing they showed gang ties. A child expressing loyalty to his brother suddenly caught in legal crossfire. There's no evidence linking B-Slime to anything criminal. None. His connection is blood and heartbreak. Still, every interview, every release, every headline ties him back to the case. And as Melly's retrial gets delayed again, Slime continues growing up under a shadow he didn't choose. When you zoom out, the pattern starts looking familiar. The YNW case mirrors what happened with Young Thug and YSL. Prosecutors framing music collectives as gangs. Lyrics turned into evidence. Art used as intent. In both cases, the same arguments surfaced. Is this storytelling or is it confession? Detectives overlapped. Gang experts testified. Photos, texts, hand signs analyzed frame by frame. In Melly's case, dozens of songs were flagged. In other states, laws now limit that practice. Florida doesn't. That's why so many Florida rappers rallied behind him. Kodak Black never stayed quiet about his support. From music collaborations to public posts, he made it clear where he stood. Kodak's own journey, prison, pardon, redemption, runs parallel to many of the same themes. Poverty, talent, the system closing in. While Kodak rebuilt his image and even received keys to the city, Melly remained locked up. 2 Florida stories, 2 very different endings. And that brings us back to the center. Jamal Demons, YNW Melly, raised by a young single mother, in and out of trouble early, found music while locked up, recorded Murder on My Mind before anyone knew his name. a song about killing a friend and regretting it instantly. Less than 2 years later, he was charged with doing exactly that. Melly turned himself in February 2019. His first trial ended in a mistrial. The jury was split. His retrial won't happen until 2027. By then, he'll have spent over 8 years locked up without a conviction. Digital messages, alleged statements, forensics, witness issues, it all sits in limbo. If convicted, he faces life or worse. If acquitted, he walks out after losing nearly a decade. And that's the part that still unsettles people. Because no matter where you stand, 2 young men are gone. One collective is erased. And the truth remains tangled in loyalty, fear, and unfinished stories. Brotherhood built everything, and it destroyed it just as fast. If you want more deep dives like this, check out the next video on your screen.